Hello students, welcome all. Today I, your teacher Mrs. Batu Sabuwala, will be continuing with the Maths chapter number 13, Congruence of Triangles. Students, remove your notebook and pen and also remove your maths textbook. Come to page number 87 and here we are going to start with the practice set 13.2. Student, before that, when we start with, I just want to say that we have already done the different types of tests of the correspondence of triangles or congruence of triangles. So let's begin with practice set 13.2. In each pair of triangles given below, parts shown by identical marks are congruent. State the test and the one-to-one correspondence of vertices by which triangles in each pair are congruent and remaining congruent parts. Student, till now we have only done that we have shown that the two triangles are congruent, but we have not shown the remaining parts. In this we have to show the remaining parts of the triangles. So let's begin with the first one. Here we have two triangles. We are having triangle MST and we are having TBM. Okay. So here we are having this angle. Here we have angle MST. ST is the right angle. Angle MST is the right angle. Similarly, BTM. Your angle angle TBM is also a right angle. We have the side MS is congruent to segment TB. This one. Okay. And here we are having a common side, that is side MT. Okay. So based on this, we can show like this. We are having two MST is corresponding to TBM. Here we are going to take triangle MST is congruent to triangle TBM by hypotenuse side test. So the remaining parts, which are the remaining parts? The remaining part is side ST, that is congruent to BM, and also angle SMT is congruent to angle BTM, and also angle STM is congruent to angle BMT. Therefore, segment ST is congruent to segment BM, which are the corresponding sides of the congruent triangle, and angle SMT is congruent to angle BTM, and angle SMT is congruent to triangle BMT, that is corresponding angles of congruent triangle. Student, what you have to do, you have to write it down, practice set 13.2. You have to draw the first figure and then what is now displayed on the screen, that you have to copy it. So here we have shown that through hypotenuse side test, triangle MST is congruent to triangle TBM, and then the remaining parts that we have shown that they are also congruent with the other triangle. Okay, so this is how we have to write it down. Now we come back to our second figure. Our second figure is here in the middle. Here students, you can see that side segment PR is congruent to side TR, and you can see angle side segment QR is congruent to side segment SR. So here segment PR is congruent to segment TR, and also segment QR is congruent to segment SR. Okay, and with that, here we are having angles. Okay, so here we can show that angle PRQ, that means we are talking about this angle, is congruent to angle TRS, that means we are talking about this angle. Now this angle, you can see that they are vertically opposite angle. Vertically opposite angles means what? That this is my line. Okay, this side is congruent to this side, that is vertically opposite, and this side is congruent to this side, that are vertically opposite angles. So through vertically opposite angles we can show that angle PRQ is congruent to angle TRS. Okay. So here we are having with side, angle, side. Here side, angle, side. So we can show that with side, angle, side test, that angle PRQ is congruent to triangle TRS. Student, as I told you earlier, naming of the angles are very important, and through which vertex it is being one-to-one corresponding of vertices of the triangle, that is to be done very well, that which vertex we are going to congruent it with which vertices. So that is very much important, student. So here we take like this, PRQ triangle is congruent to TRS triangle. Okay, so this is how we will be showing. So we are going to write it like this way, students. Here what you have to do, you have to write number 1.2. You have to draw the figure and then you have to write it down the answer in such a way. In triangle PRQ and triangle TRS, segment PR is congruent to segment TR, which is already given to us. Then angle PRQ is congruent to angle TRS. I explain you, students, vertically opposite angles. Also in the figure it is being shown that segment RQ is congruent to segment RS, which has already been given. Therefore, with the help of this, we can show that triangle PRQ is congruent to triangle TRS under PRQ similar to TRS by SAS test. Now, if these triangles are being congruent, that means the remaining side and the remaining angles are also congruent. So, segment PQ is congruent to segment ST, that is corresponding sides of the congruent triangles. Then angle QPR is congruent to angle STR, and also triangle PQR is congruent to triangle TSR, that is corresponding angles of the congruent triangles. Student, over here, with every statement you have to give out your reason. So writing your reason is also very important, and the writing of the reason you have to do on the right hand side of your page. Okay, as it has been given, neat and clean, you are going to write it down. I don't want dirty or shabby work to be done. So when you write it down your answers, students, write it down in neat and clean format as it is being displayed on the screen. Now I'll go with the third figure. Over here, students, we have the third figure which is on the right of the screen. Let's see to it. In the third figure, you can see that here we are having this side DC. Here we have DC side segment. This is congruent to both the angles. Now let's name the angles. Angle is here, name the triangle DCH and triangle DCF are the two triangles over here. Here angle DCH, here the angle that we are having DCH, and here angle DCF, they both of them are congruent. They are being shown, which has already been given, and we are having DHC, that we are talking about this particular angle DHC and DFC, they are also congruent, which has been shown by making a cross over here. This is made a cross over here, students, you can see over here. So this angle and this side, they are congruent. So we can say with SAA test or with AAS test, that is both of the same, whether you say AAA test or whether you say SAA test, that is both the same. So with AAS test or SAA test, we have proved that triangle DCH and triangle DCF, they both of them are congruent. So the answer will be writing down in this way, students. In triangle DCH and triangle DCF, angle DHC is congruent to triangle DFC, which has already been given. Also triangle HCD and triangle FCD, that is also been given that they are congruent. Also side DC is segment DC is congruent to segment DC because that is a common side. So with the help of this we can show that triangle DCH is congruent to triangle DCF under DCH corresponding to DCF. Okay. Now why are we showing like this way, students? We are showing that D vertices is correspondent to D vertices correspondent to D vertices, then C vertice corresponding to C vertice, H vertice corresponding to F vertice. So here with AAS test we have proved that both the triangles they are congruent. Now if the triangles are congruent, that means the other side and also the other angles they are also congruent. So here segment HC is congruent to segment FC and segment DH is congruent to segment DF, that is the corresponding side of the congruent triangle. Also the angle, that is angle HDC and angle FCD, they are also corresponding angles of the congruent triangle. Okay students, now how it has been displayed in over here, that same way you have to write it down in your book also. Now I'll go with the second part of practice set 13.2 students. The question goes over here, in the adjacent figure segment AD is congruent to segment EC, which has already been marked, you can see over there in the figure. Which additional information is needed to show that triangle ABD and triangle EBC will be congruent by AAS test? Now over here student, you can see that there are vertically opposite angles. I have shown you students what is vertically opposite angles. Yes, so here it has been shown that there are vertically opposite angles. So which are the angles? It is angle ABD and angle EBC, this one. These are vertically opposite angles. Okay, so here we have that one side, the sides we have completed by showing that this side has been completed by showing that segment AD is congruent to segment EC. One A is also been completed by showing that they are vertically opposite. Now what is left? The other A. A means angle. So what addition we require? We now need to show one angle over here. So the answer goes in such a format, students. So students, the additional information that is needed to show that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle EBC is by AA test. So as I told you students, that angle ABD is congruent to triangle EBC. The reason is the reason over here is it is vertically opposite angles. Okay, and one more angle that we need, that is angle ADB and angle ECB. So we can show it over here in the figure like this. ADB and ECB, we can show that they are the similar angles, and with this we can complete with our AAS test, students. So the answer which is displayed on the screen, that you have to write it down in your notebook, students. And with this we have completed with this chapter number 13, congruence of triangles. Thank you, students.